The pace and noise of city life can often send the stress levels soaring. Brentford is a perfect example. It's full of concrete and tarmac, so if you live here, you might occasionally dream of a very different life in the countryside. But one terraced house here is the perfect example of what a growing breed of Londoners are doing. They're bringing a bit of the country into their city lives. They're keeping hens.
We're really fortunate that we live on the corner of the street, so we've got a slightly bigger garden than we used to have. We wanted to look at producing as much of our own food as possible, so we've got 3 colonies of honeybees, we've got a kitchen garden, 15 fruit and nut trees, and my favourite, we've got 20 hens. Fruits and vegetables are great, but if you want a whole meal, you need a good supply of protein. And we thought, wow, we can keep chickens. It's wonderful. It's a pet, but it's a pet that feeds you, and you get lovely fresh eggs every day, which just can't be beaten.
And where do they lay them? I mean, they just lay them where they sleep?
Yeah, so we've got these groovy chicken coops. They've got runs that are fox resistant, which means that living in an urban environment, they're protected from predators. Inside the coops, there's roosting bars for them to sleep, but there's also a nest box, so the chickens can find a nice bit of peace and quiet in the dark, where they can have some privacy to lay their eggs.
Hen houses were once thought of as a bit of an eyesore, but there are now some very different shapes and sizes available, and they can look rather cool. Sarah's one was designed at the Royal College of Art, no less.
From the design point of view, we wanted people to look at the igloo and go, I love it, but what is it? And then we would have the opportunity to say, well, it's a chicken coop. And then they'd say, wow, does that mean I can keep chickens? And many people sort of almost gave them hope that they could keep chickens.
Design students building chicken coops is all well and good, but we all know that London has a large fox population who are rather good at killing hens. So how did they deal with that?
Part of our research when we were testing the product before we launched it was going around and visiting chicken farmers on an industrial scale. And I really remember this one guy who had a big organic chicken farm, and he had chickens free ranging everywhere. And he said to us, to keep a fox out, you don't dig the fence down, you come out horizontally across the ground, because the fox's instinct will always come up to an edge and then try to dig. And so if you stop him there at that point, he'll try the other side and he'll never get in. So igloos have anti-tunnel skirt which runs around the outside and just stops them digging in. It's really simple.
So the fox doesn't get to the edge and think, oh, well, I'll go further back and dig. They just try and dig right at the edge of the fence.
Because that doesn't make any sense to the fox. It's literally out-fox the fox.
So this is where we find out whether you've had any eggs overnight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Where are they?
So in here.
Okay, the moment of truth. Oh, there's loads of eggs in there.
Yeah.
Is that a nice?
Oh, they've done well, yes.
Stash? So you've got some blue ones here.
Yep.
A couple of white ones. And brown. I mean, why the different colours? They're just because of the different breed of chickens?
Different breeds, absolutely.
Oh, and this one's warm. Yeah, and this one's quite warm as well. Is that because they've just been laid, or one of them's been sitting on them?
Well, it could be either. It could be they've just been laid, or it could be that one is about to lay, and then while she was getting comfy, she's sitting on them all at the same time.
Yeah, because she was making a bit of noise. Is she trying to tell us something?
They like to announce it. So it could be that, excuse me, get out of the way because I'd like to lay an egg, or it could be, hey, look what I've just done.
Chicken keeping in the capital has really grown in popularity. They're kept in all sorts of places. Some London schools are bringing a few in for educational purposes. Fielding Primary School in Northfields hatched a couple of chicks in one of their classrooms. They've just had their very own allotment built, and the hens are starting city life here.
This year at school we decided that we'd like to have chickens. We have an incubator, we have the eggs, and so the children can see that process of the eggs hatching.
So they were hatched here, these 4 chickens?
They're 12 to 13 weeks old now, but yeah, the 4 of them hatched. And the children have been looking after them ever since. I just think the fact that we can give children animals to look after, to care for, to demonstrate their skills of being responsible, because they help us check for eggs every morning, even though the chicks haven't started laying yet, but also feeding the chickens, making sure they're tucked away at night, and cleaning out the chickens as well. So all those responsibilities.
So Alexander, I hear that you really like the chickens, don't you? Why do you really like the chickens?
Because I want to be a farmer.
Because you want to be a farmer?
Yeah.
And what sort of things are you going to have on your farm?
Cows and chickens.
And chickens, yeah. So why do you like the chickens?
Because I like touching them.
What do they feel like when you touch them?
Soft.
The feathers are really soft, aren't they?
Yeah.
And what else do you like about chickens?
I like them because they do poos.
They do poos. Can anyone tell me what the chickens give to us? Who's, oh, hands up, everybody's really polite. Let's go for you. What do the chickens?
Eggs.
Eggs, yeah. Who likes eggs here? Put your hands up if you like eggs. Okay, well, I've got one more question for you. There are lots of jobs that need to be done around the chickens, aren't there? You need to collect the eggs, but you also need to clean them out. You need to clean their poo, don't you?
Yeah.
Who does that job here? No one?
Mr. Ware.
But remember when they were in our classroom, who was really good at helping us to clean the chickens?
Who was very good at... was it you, Alexander? You were very good at helping with cleaning the poo?
Yeah.
We just wanted to get the children out, experience in nature, experience in things that necessarily they wouldn't always get a chance to experience. For the last 2 months, all they've wanted to do is write about chickens and talk about the chickens. And they were also asking us what time in the day we're going to come back over and check they're okay. So it's been really exciting for them.
So keeping chickens does seem to be good for us, but are the hens enjoying the good life too?
Well, I think it is a good life for the chickens. They do seem very happy here. They have opportunities to free range, they have opportunity to sunbathe. And if you're thinking of a big farm, a commercial farm, then the chickens, even if they're organic, even if they're free range, they're likely to be changed every year, because a chicken will lay its most eggs in the first year of egg production. And a lot of farmers say, well, I'll feed you for that year, you give me the eggs for that year, but no, we'll change you after that. And there are thousands and thousands of chickens who, after that first year of laying eggs at 17 months old, are up for grabs or rehoming because they're not wanted or needed by the farmers anymore. That's certainly not the attitude we have here. They're really welcome to stay here when they're only laying 1 or 2 eggs a year. We're quite happy to feed them just because they're our lovely feathered friends.
What I love about this is you've got a little bit of the countryside and you've brought it into the city.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic idea.